First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen and answer questions 11 to 16.
Hello there. My name's Matt, and I'm going to be your guide for the day. Before your guided tour of the stadium begins, you have 15 minutes to look around the small museum we've put together about the history of the club. Now, you've all got a map of the museum on your leaflet, so let me just tell you where to find some of the most interesting displays. Firstly, I'm sure you'll want to see all the medals and cups that the club has won over the years. These are on the second floor, in the first big room you come to after you've gone up the stairs. You have to walk through this room on your way to the exit, but make sure you leave yourself enough time to have a good look round. If you're interested in seeing a history of the club in old photos, going right back to the 1880s, then you'll find that display on the first floor. It's in the first room you come to on your right as you walk down the main corridor from the entrance. You can also see the type of kit the team members used to play in at various times in its history, and a display in the next room on the same side of the corridor on the first floor. It's amazing how much fashions in shorts and shirts have changed over the years, and the display brings us right up to date. This room is really popular with visitors. Another display that I'd recommend is the one devoted to the history of the stadium itself and how it's developed over the years. There's an interesting interactive display where you can press a button and see how the place looked at different times in its history. That's in the middle room on the second floor. If you want to see how the club's advertising has developed over the years, then there's an interesting display of posters at the end of the corridor on the first floor, just before you go up the stairs. Finally, you can watch some of the finest moments in the club's history in the last room on the left-hand side of the corridor on the first floor. You can see old newsreels of some of the best goals and saves and see some of the most iconic players of the last 50 years in action. So enjoy your visit. I'll see you at the exit on the second floor in 15 minutes when your tour of the stadium itself will begin. Enjoy!
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
Okay, so is everybody here? I hope you enjoyed your look round the museum. So, it's time to begin our tour of the stadium. This is going to take about an hour, so we should be finished by 3:15. I know some of you have got a coach picking you up at 3:30, but you should still have time for a snack and a look round the gift shop before you have to go. The gift shop is open until 4 o'clock, so the rest of you are welcome to stay and browse. So, before we start, a few do's and don'ts. Photography is allowed, so feel free to take as many pictures as you want. But please say now if you're going to use a flash in case anyone has a problem with that. No? Okay. There are no players here today, so we're not going to disturb anyone. Please stay with the group. I'll be counting you as we pass from one area to another to make sure nobody's got left behind. And no eating and drinking, please. That's our only rule. We will be going into the players' changing rooms. They're not there, of course, but you'll see their shirts hanging up in the places where they normally get changed. You can touch the shirts, but please don't try them on. If you do that, we have to wash them between each group of visitors, and we don't have the staff for that. Finally, I'll be giving my commentary in English. Please do say if I'm going too fast or too slow. Okay? Great. And I'm happy to answer your questions. If you could save them until I've come to the end of my little talk in each area, that works best. I can't promise to know all the answers, but please ask anything you want. Okay, so if you're all ready, we'll start. Now, this area, where we're beginning our tour,